And booyah! Just finished a 6K run here in beautiful California, Del Mar, California. Water's about to get me here. And look, I just had 4 days here of kind of reconnecting with my parents and had some long conversations about the past and what happened and childhood and divorce and all sorts of stuff like that. And it was really positive. It was really healing for me to just finally have some of these conversations with my parents, and hopefully we'll be able to share some of that with you in the upcoming months. But it's just something that's worth thinking about. You know, if there's that conversation you never had with your mom or your dad, or maybe someone close to you, a brother, a sister, a grandparent, an aunt, but it's usually the parents, you know, something that you wanted to clear up, you wanted to get off your chest, because these things can be these patterns and loops in our head, and we just relive these traumas of our childhood, and sometimes it's bogus trauma. You know, I think 50% of what we remember is true, and the other half we just kind of make up or remake up every time we recall it. And so it was really great to talk to my mom and my dad separately about the divorce they had when I was 7, and just to find out what else was going on, because I just think of it from my perspective, and of course there was a lot of people involved. And also to put it in perspective and realize that I wouldn't be the guy I am unless they had split up. I would have never traveled the world with my mom. I would have never probably gone to these math science magnet schools. I would have never been able to get kicked out of my mom's house to go live with my dad and connect with him in that way and have my independence, which I think was really important for me as a young man. So, you know, from now on, I'm not going to tell myself that same story. I'm going to tell myself a new story. And that moment when I was 7 years old, when my parents told me they were splitting up, is one of the greatest moments of my life, because it charted out the man I am today, who I'm super proud of and who I love very much. And that wasn't always the case, you know. That's only a new phenomenon where I can say those two statements, and they had a lot to do with it. And you know, they're also imperfect beings on an imperfect world, trying to live an imperfect life, you know. And you've got to forgive and understand and at least give them credit, because trust me, as a parent, you realize how MFing hard it is, and how between you and your partner and your life and your kids' life and just life in general in the world, man, nothing is easy, and nothing ever goes the way you want it to, and shit happens, basically. And so it's been really good to see that. And I went through a bunch of old pictures, and I saw old pictures of me and of my great-grandparents, and learned more about the story of the Roses and the Benedicts and how they came west and just fought through brutal poverty just to come to San Diego and give us this amazing life, and how education was a big deal in the 1890s in my family, because one of the men accidentally killed himself, and so the women had to get educated to survive. And that's probably why it was so important for my family, and maybe why I went to MIT. So it's just crazy to see how things from 100 years ago could affect my life today, because it's passed down through that, you know, genetic information or that cultural context. So anyways, it's all good. So I'm saying goodbye to California, going back to London, but it's nice to know it's so close, and I hope I'll be coming back. It's a beautiful state. It's a beautiful place. It's really calming, and I really had a great time here. And now I'm going to go jump in this water. All right? So lots of love. Peace from Cali.